Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Oh, another one bites, another one bites, another one bites the dust. Unbelievable. Out of nowhere, that guy from Gamexplain, how do I not remember his name? That guy from Gamexplain has come out and confirmed that the channel is shutting down. Oof. He's doing the Review Tech USA thing. Oh, we're going to continue live streaming, but we won't be putting out edited content. Like, clearly, the money is drying up. Clearly, he can't do his thing. Clearly, like, everyone hates him and everyone knows that Gamexplain is a giant scam and that, like, they don't know the first thing about any Nintendo franchise other than Xenoblade for some reason. And that, like, everybody involved is, like, just a complete sleaze. Like, pretending that Vivian is transgender. Like, they are complete scum. Always have been, always will be, and they are right now. So that makes Gamexplain bowing out of the Nintendo community a very exciting thing, right? This is a very strong net positive for the community because it demonstrates that people like Gamexplain, who just monetize Nintendo content by re-uploading trailers, right? Who co-sign lots of weird creative decisions, who enable people like the Federation Force detractor community and like the Paper Mario fan base, right? One of the most disgusting, ignorant, just malicious Nintendo YouTube channels there are. Like, Gamexplain is just no more. And suddenly, now, there's now more room for real fans to make real content about Nintendo games without monetizing everything and trying to just generate clicks there constantly, right? We don't want people like Gamexplain on YouTube because all they were trying to do was make money, right? They didn't play the games. They didn't really know anything about them. They just did a bunch of clickbait things to try and keep people engaged with their channel. And eventually it blew up in their face, right? Eventually the entire thing just collapsed. And it is really exciting to see. Because I'm sure a lot of these other channels are going to go down the same route, right? I can't see RGT85 continuing to do what he does. I can't see Player Essence continuing to do what he does. Review Tech USA, who is worse than Gamexplain, is imploding right now. So to me, this is a very telltale sign as to where the Nintendo YouTube community is going. Is that the clickbait channels of yesteryear are falling by the wayside, right? This kind of behavior that was so lucrative and so successful 10 years ago is no longer viable. And they have to migrate to new pastures. They cannot simply sustain themselves by just constantly hyping up the Switch 2, like they did with the NX, right? It's just not going to happen, right? People don't go to these people for views, right? For news, right? There are better resources, better creators, official outlets that you can do to get gaming news. Again, why would I click on Gamexplain and seeing them make some 30-minute discussion over some alleged leak from Emily Rogers? No. Not only do I not want to see that, I don't even want to hear Emily Rogers' name. Okay, I don't care about I knew Star Fox Grand Prix was fake the instant I heard about it, and now these people are trying to backtrack and say well, it was all just a big misunderstanding, guys. Come on, this was a complete joke. I know I'm not alone in saying this. Gamexplain was just using their influence over the community to push some really weird ideas onto people, right? And there are definitely people who have replaced them, right, since then. Player Essence and Kit and Krista, who are just as bad, if not worse. But they're also not as popular, right? So again, people have to get more and more extreme, more and more negative in order to like keep the views coming in, to keep people engaged with the content. But like all that does is just drive away real fans, right? I am shocked at the sheer amount of people who are like calling out like the Lonely Goomba and John Cartwright on like the Tears of the Kingdom thing. Like, oh, Breath of the Wild outsold Tears of the Kingdom this quarter. Yeah, because it was on sale. And again, like how many people will you see like acknowledge that like Nintendo Switch games go on sale? Right? Like again, like people still are still stuck in this mindset that they genuinely believe that like Nintendo games don't go on sale, right? Even though that hasn't been true for a long time. But again, like that contradicted the narrative, so they had to push this line of thinking. Just they tried to do some things, like they tried like just mangling the story to the point where like it says something it doesn't, right? Like, you know, how many times have we heard over the past like 5 years, oh, the next Nintendo console is coming out this year, when the Switch is like on top of the world right now, always has been. And like it's very frustrating, you know, seeing that like this is the kind of content that was popular 10 years ago. But seeing it go by the wayside, seeing it like go bye bye, you know, after all the controversies, you know, the declining viewership, you know, the downfall, right? Like yeah, good riddance, honestly. Like Gamexplain is a company that has provided absolutely nothing of value to the Nintendo community, right? They spawned a lot of the toxic new contributors, like the new wave of Nintendo content creators. I believe even like you know, John Cartwright himself came from there. Again, you have like years and years of them just like of just doing their thing, of just being complete and total scum, right? Like again, why did this channel even exist? Like who was watching it? Like who was invested in it? Like again, and why were they constantly making terrible reviews of legitimately good Nintendo games? Like why were they such a terrible channel? It's a mystery for the ages. I'll never be able to figure it out because I'll never think about Gamexplain ever again. It's done. It's done and dusted. It's over. It's never coming back. It's never relevant again. It'll never have the influence it had 10 years ago. And I am very thankful to see it go away. I never want to hear from this company again. I don't want to. I don't like the contributors. I don't like the culture. Like, let the Pretendo community die.